In the controversial world of UFOs and UAPs, a field often plagued by misidentification, hoaxes, and outright lies, there is a daily YouTube show and podcast that aims to separate fact from fiction and somehow manages to make sense of it all. The show is called VETTED, and we are about to meet the man behind it here on Things Visible and Invisible. Via talk radio and television, Patrick Scott Armstrong became the co-creator and today is the host of VETTED, a daily podcast and YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers, and where he has become for most of us the go-to UFO sleuth. And he joins me down the line from an undisclosed location. Patrick, welcome to Things Visible and Invisible.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, first of all, Patrick, congratulations on the show VETTED, which I have to say is our sister show, which I'm very proud of. You've done a phenomenal job in a very short space of time. So let's start at the beginning. Where did the idea of VETTED come from?
It really just came from a desire to look into this phenomena. I interviewed a documentary filmmaker named James Fox, who's very well known in the UFO community. He's put out some of the, I would say, quintessential UFO documentaries. The Phenomena is a big one, but one in particular is called Moment of Contact. It was about a 1996 Brazilian UFO incident, it's referred to as the Varginha incident. And I watched that documentary and got to interview James Fox, and it pretty much blew me away, if I'm being honest. It was one of the most compelling cases I'd ever seen, and productions about a case I'd ever seen. And that really just launched VETTED, to be honest with you.
Because prior to VETTED, you've got a long track record in doing various podcasts and also YouTube channels. Was this a subject that was kind of bubbling below the surface, something you always wanted to explore a little bit more?
Definitely. I grew up, I was born in '79. I grew up on the X-Files in my teenage years during the '90s, like so many people. Okay, we all wanted to be Fox Mulder. And I've always had a desire and a curiosity for just the unknown and these sort of existential questions, right? Are we alone? And even going further than that, are we alone on this planet? Which is an even more compelling question, I think. And definitely Fire in the Sky, the Travis Walton story, was a big impact on me, and just anything sci-fi related. But I would definitely say over the last couple of years, I've dove down a hole that I never thought I would ever get to be honest with you, about this.
Well, we're going to talk about that hole you've dug for yourself in a minute, Patrick. But as we both know, working in this world, having an idea is one thing. Turning that idea into a reality is an altogether different proposition. So you had this idea that this show might work. Talk to me a little bit about the process. How do you go from an idea to a reality online?
Like as far as making a video?
Well, no more like who did you convince that you needed to do this show, and who? I mean, we both have the same executive producer. That's, I suppose, where I'm heading with this.
Sure. Yeah, talking to Sebastian Sauerborn, who's the executive producer. It was just, how do we approach this phenomenon in a way that maybe other people haven't? Right, because typically the phenomenon, or at least what I like to call the UFO community, is kind of broken down into two sides. You've got the skeptical debunker side, and then you've got the whole believer side, right? Experiencer side. Well, I found myself not being in either. And I found myself being in the middle, and that's what VETTED represents. And honestly, as VETTED has gone by, I've realized that that's actually where a lot of people fall.
Yeah.
They're curious, but a little skeptical, but open-minded, and kind of just not on one extreme or the other. So it was just finding that right balance, and Sebastian was all about it. And I think that's what makes Vetted special in a lot of ways, to be honest.
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there, Patrick, in terms of trying to navigate, as you say, those two extremes in the UFO community. Um, was there? I mean, your sort of modus operandi, your way of presenting as well, is relentless. Okay, I mean, your show Vetted is very much a news show. It's a reactive show. I've seen videos coming very, very quickly because something has happened in Congress or whatever. I mean, it's a very different proposition to, for example, this show, which is, not in that sort of same vein, not in that same channel, if you like, in terms of speed of delivery. Was that something you consciously wanted to have as part of Vetted?
That's actually a really good question. I would say Vetted, there's been an evolution with Vetted because at the beginning, you know, we approached Vetted as just kind of like any podcast. Okay, let's get interviews. Let's start talking to these people, right? And doing this. So it was much different. It was sort of a weekly thing, maybe, or two, 3 times a week, and maybe more deep dives and that sort of thing. But quickly I realized, and Sebastian as well, like you know, not having to worry about access to people and not be dependent on guests for the show to sort of survive is that revelation actually changed everything, because then we started doing these daily videos that were more news related, reactive, like you're saying, right? Bringing the news to people, and really also something I hear a lot about is, hey, I don't have time to watch 3 hour podcast a week. So Patrick breaks it down into highlights, and I can catch up. And if I'm interested in hearing the whole podcast, I can go listen to it. So yeah, it was an evolution, but I'm glad where we are now, because I do mix in interviews and other deep dives into it. Especially this psionics documentary that I've been filming for the last 4 months, and we're still working on. That was an opportunity to sort of, right, explore those avenues as well. But yeah, the crux of Vetted is definitely that daily fix of what's happening at the moment, um, and just keeping people informed who are otherwise maybe too busy to be going down a rabbit hole every single day about this.
I mean, the other thing which I mean, it wasn't planned, obviously, but Vetted just came at the same time as Congress hearings, as a kind of a
Yeah.
shift in the culture around disclosure. I mean, if you'd planned it, it couldn't have been planned any better. I mean, that must have seen a rapid growth within your channel, but also just hitting that zeitgeist must have really speeded a lot of your activity, but also it meant for an awful lot of work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The timing couldn't have been any better, and I definitely didn't know any of that was coming. July 2023, there was this huge, the most watched congressional hearing in the history of Congress, mind you. Famously with David Grush at the helm. You had another pilot, Ryan Graves, and then another Top Gun pilot, David Fravor. And yeah, what's funny is I remember we filmed all of these interviews sort of to, when we launched Vetted, we would have, right, like some other content, not just going week by week. So we record all these interviews, I'm editing them, getting them all ready, and then boom, David Grush comes out as this whistleblower. It changes the whole game, and I have to start re-editing everything. Yeah, it couldn't have come at a perfect time. I mean, we launched right as this sort of, right, roller coaster is just sort of heading up here for this huge drop. Yeah, it really couldn't have been any better.
Have you had anybody suggest, Patrick, that perhaps you were some kind of deep state plant, that you were helping people navigate, inverted commas, the congressional hearings?
Definitely. Yeah, I get called a plant every single day, and CIA, FBI, secret agent, at all. Honestly, it's quite flattering that someone would think I'm capable of some sort of cloak and dagger, espionage. If they only knew me in real life, they would know how hilarious that is. But yes, it comes with the territory.
How do you go about actually, I'm thinking more the practical side of it now. I mean, the UFO field has mushroomed, as you say, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. I mean, how do you actually choose? Because you can only really do a video a day, essentially. What is the criteria? How do you sort of program your channel?
That's a great question, and honestly, as I'm probably still figuring that out, to be honest. It's a lot of trial and error, but at the end of the day, if as a creator, right, if you try to worry about pleasing everybody or trying to give the audience what you think they want, that sometimes doesn't work. It's just a hard thing. It's out of your control. So I've taken this approach. I basically find stories that I find interesting and I just cover those. And I just keep it that simple, and I just hope that people will be attracted to that, right? I took the George Lucas approach, which George Lucas's advice to other filmmakers were create your own world and invite people to that. So that's what I did. I just create my own world, my vetted, what I find to be interesting, and clearly people have been attracted to that. So that's just kind of how I do it, what I find interesting.
Well, that's indeed the case. People are attracted to it and have been attracted to it, and no doubt continue to be attracted to it. One of the things I've noticed as well is that you've gone for the video essays, if you like, each night or interaction, but you've also gone for lives. Talk to me a little bit about that experience.
Like live streaming, yeah, it's I personally don't like live streams, if I'm being honest, but they're necessary. Like I like it and I don't like it, because it can be long and arduous sometimes, and just it's live. Anything goes, right? You're live. This is it. But there's also something very intimate about that with your audience, right? You're getting this direct feedback in the moment. You got chat, you got all these things. So I think going live is essential as well for community building, and then your sort of day to day videos that are recorded and edited, and that is just putting out the content for everyone who can't show up for these live streams. And now that I'm sort of settled in my new place, I'm planning on doing more of those. To be honest with you.
Right. Talk to me a little bit about this community, because you have really got a vetted community. I mean, people. I've watched your channel for quite a while now, Patrick, and I've seen an awful lot of comments. And people really, I mean, understandably, they know you. They think they know you even better, maybe than in
Yeah.
reality they do. But there is a deep sense of community, of people with a shared idea of who they are, and it's centered around your channel. I noticed it because you very kindly give a shout out to this channel. And a lot of people started coming onto this channel and they were saying, Patrick sent me. It was like a royal decree. Patrick sent me, so I must come and watch it. So talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, it must have some wonderful moments, but is there a downside to it as well?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And, there is a little bit, but yeah, community is important if you're going to build a channel, right? You got to have some sort of connection, and build a community. And I think that is, a cornerstone to something you're trying to build. You need, who are you speaking to, right? You got to know your audience a little bit, and really the vetted community are those diehards, right? Those are people who just go a little bit further than just watching the show on their phone or TV, and want to jump in, which is why I created a Discord. And that's really what built the community, because we've got, thousands of members in there, and they're dedicated to the cause of discussing this topic in a respectful, open way. And what's great about the vetted community, like I said earlier, right? You've got the extremes of skeptic, believer. Vetted is all of it. We have skeptics, believers in the middle, everything. And we got scientists in there, lawyers, engineers, doctor, regular people, just anything and everyone all together, all over the world, right? I talk to people literally from all over the world, and it's amazing. And that community is, I'll tell you what, the community is what almost fuels me day to day to keep it going. To be honest with you, it's almost like the few help the many, because those few people that I get to speak to, you know, quite regularly in the Discord, like on open mic. I'm literally just talking, and there's just hundreds of people, and we're just having open conversations, and you really get to know people on a different level and see where they're coming from, and they get to know me on a different level. When we get to hang out for a couple hours, and like you said, people think they know me from watching my videos, but you jump into the community, you really get to know me, and I get to know them, which is equally as special for me, to be honest with you. I probably get more out of it than they do.
Yeah, I mean that shows with just the number of subscribers that people are coming back time and time again. And as I say, I mean, even a cursory glance at your comment section, it very much is a community. People interact with you, they appreciate you, but also in a way, and this is also going back to something I think you set out when you started Vetted. I mean, people kind of trust you, Patrick. They trust that what you're going to say is legitimate. What you say hasn't got a spin on it. It's not coming from some deep state, secret base, but it's also not coming from outer space. It's something which it's in the middle a little bit. I mean, is there a pressure sometimes from either side of the debate to try to take a side, Patrick? Come on, we want you in our team.
Definitely. Definitely. I felt the pressure pretty, as Vetted started to grow and maybe get a little traction in the community, I started actually to feel a lot of pressure from even other content creators, and what I might call UFO, personalities, trying to, you know, I mean, I don't know, not trying to cause any drama here, but kind of trying to strong arm me into a particular narrative, or who I covered, or what I covered, or how I covered it, more importantly, and what I said about it. And I turned all that away. I didn't join a club. I didn't join a side, and that's why I created the Vetted community. Was like, I need my own community that you don't want to pick a side. You want to be in the middle and hear everything and just be curious about it. So it's a balance. It's a high wire act, if you will. But I've definitely felt the pressure, and as I've gotten bigger, it's way easier to stand alone, to be honest with you, because I remember speaking with another content creator who's very well known in the space, just well known on YouTube. It's called the Y Files. They've got like over 5 million subscribers. I'm very good friends with those guys. And the host of the show, AJ, told me one time in an email, he's like, "Hey man, this is all you got to do is get bigger, because that will sort of ease the pressure of people trying to control you a little bit." So yeah, that's it. I just got bigger, and I plan on just growing the channel more, and it actually eases the pressure, surprisingly.
Now, this is part one of a two-part interview with Patrick. So in the next part, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the whole UFO community, but moving beyond that to where the UFO world is at this time. So for now, Patrick, if you could just tell people a little bit about where they can find Vetted, where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, you can really go to our website, vetted.show, SHOW, and get everything there. But if you just go to YouTube and search Vetted, as soon as you put in VET, our channel comes up. So you can find us very easily on YouTube, just searching Vetted, VETTED. I'm on Twitter, very actively on Twitter too. Again, just search Vetted, it comes up. I'm so glad we use that name, because it's actually very easy to find us. But yeah, daily videos. Come check us out. We'd love to have you.
Patrick, for now, thank you so much for coming on Things Visible and Invisible.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Things Visible and Invisible. We're dedicated to uncovering phenomena that challenge our understanding of reality, from ancient enigmas and paranormal encounters to scientific anomalies and forgotten histories. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysterious and unexplained, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell to stay updated on future explorations. Have a personal experience or story that aligns with our investigations? We'd love to hear from you. Visit our website at tvi.show and reach out through our contact form. While we can't feature every submission, we review them all, and your story might be featured in an upcoming episode. To support our continued investigations, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter or channel member. Your contributions make these explorations possible and give you access to exclusive content, early releases, and monthly behind-the-scenes discussions with our team. Don't forget to check out our merch store. We've got everything from TVI-branded t-shirts and hoodies to stickers and coffee mugs, perfect for showing your support while keeping the mysteries close. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time as we continue to explore the things visible and invisible.